Hello, welcome to Mid-Ohio Fantasy Football Show. We're going to be talking about the history of Mid-Ohio Fantasy Football, how it got started, where it went, where it is today, and we need to get, I was working in Brunswick Technetics Aerospace down in DeLand, Florida, and I was running a lot of the football pools, so I got to meet a lot of guys in machine shop and stuff. And I had a buddy over there, Bob Moore, and one day I was headed in to the break room, and Bob stopped me. So we're going to try to get Bob on the phone, and he's out of Indianapolis now. So if we can get him on the phone, can you try to get him on there, Jake?
Hello.
Hello, Bob. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Monte?
Good. We're on this podcast, Mid-Ohio Fantasy Football History, and I was just telling them down in DeLand, Florida, on that I ran the polls, and I got to meet some good friends down there, and I met you. And I was going in the break room, and you stopped me. And if you can tell the story, how that went.
Yeah, well, I was first introduced to fantasy football by my brother-in-law, and he led me to a book written by, I don't remember the author, but it was tied to the sporting news, and it basically outlined how the fantasy football started. And how they formed leagues and how scoring was structured, and it was so intriguing to me that you could play a type of football with your friends, and it really excited me to first learn about this, and I was excited to tell my friends, and that's basically how we got the ball rolling, and that's how me and you became closer friends.
Right. I was going in the break room, and you said, hey, read this book and get back with me. So I took it, and I read through about half of it, and I didn't need to go any further. So
yeah, it really lit me up and excited me, and obviously it did the same to you.
Right. So I went back and said, let's do it. So we sat down and over probably a few beers, and we put together our rules and how we was going to keep track of the rules. We used USA Today, I believe.
Yeah, USA Today was a good keeper of the stats. They had everything.
Right. And then, Bob, you would do the stats and calculate the points. And I believe we went to, for every 1 yard, you got 0.1 for rushing and receiving, and 0.05 for passing. And then, yep. So then you just calculated all your points up. I believe
we stuck with the general idea of touchdowns equal 6 points. We've always kept that rule in to make it feel like football, you know.
Right.
And other leagues have gone with lower scoring and touchdowns with the quarterback, and I hate that thought. I mean, Football's football, and touchdowns should be 6 points in my eye.
Right. Field goals 3.
And any thought of giving extra points for a kicker that kicks a field goal just because he kicks it 50 yards just takes away from the game to me.
Right.
I mean, field goals 3 points, extra points 1 point. I mean, you know, you keep it to the basic scoring of the game.
Right. You go for 2, you get 2. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So, anyway, we had to calculate these stats, and everybody had to call in their lineup by a certain day. I think it was Thursday by noon or whatever. And that's a challenge in itself. To get.
Oh, yeah, especially when you're working off a paper that came out on Monday. You had to pick it up Monday morning, and lineups had to be in at a certain time. And at that point, there wasn't any Saturday games or Thursday night football.
Right.
You just had your Monday night and Sunday afternoon. So, you picked up your Monday morning USA Today and your Tuesday morning USA Today, and you got all the stats for the week. So it kept it pretty simple.
Yes. And when we moved on, well, we had our draft. We had 10 people, 10 teams, and we took pennies and stamped 1 through 10, if you remember. Right. And then we put them on the pool table, and everybody was sitting around this pool table with all their books, studying. And it was kind of neat because you could see who studied and who didn't.
Well, who studied with the right literature and who didn't. I went with the Smith and Street magazine, which was not a good magazine to go with when you're first entering fantasy football. I mean, it gave you the idea of the teams and the players, but it really wasn't good for knowing fantasy.
Right. And where I went with the Fantasy Index.
Right. And that was the Holy Grail.
Well,
in our first 2 seasons, you were the champion.
Hey. And I put that towards that book because that book laid it out. It gave you cheat sheets. It told you when you read about individual teams, it told you how they were looking to go. So it was easy to pick up on rookies that they were going to use them right off the bat,
Right, and when we started, we were a keeper league, which meant that we kept all our players season to season.
Right.
And that did kind of limit your choices the following season. So, you kept your main good guys.
Right.
And, so that, I remember my first pick being Thurman Thomas.
Yeah.
And at that point, that was an excellent first pick. He kept me fed for a long time.
Right. Now, my first pick, I went with Barry Sanders, rookie.
Yeah.
And he was good for years, but
yes, he was.
As we went along, we played 89 and 90. I left Florida in 91, so I didn't get in the league. Do you remember who won that year?
What the league after that, the year after that?
Yeah.
I think it was Dave and Mark Andrews. I don't remember Dave's last name. Big redhead.
Right.
Used to be in
Anderson. Dave Anderson.
No, Mark Anderson.
Mark Anderson
was the other guy. But Dave, I don't remember his last name.
Okay.
Big redhead.
Yeah.
They were solid. Their number 1 pick was Joe Montana.
Right. So did they share?
Bread and butter because they also had Jerry Rice.
So they shared a team?
Yeah, they shared a team. They were one of the 2 co-owners at that time.
Okay.
There was two teams that had two owners for one team.
Okay. And 90.
The rest of the league was single team owners. Owner teams.
Okay. Now, did you have the season in 92?
I didn't. I carried the season, but I didn't win. I didn't win until the 5th year. I won the 5th year.
So you
And
won
in that final
93.
game, I beat Smitty.
Good old
And,
Smitty.
Yeah.
Cleveland boy.
Yeah. Ohio boy.
Yeah.
Definitely Cleveland Brown fan.
Yeah, Cleveland Brown fan.
And lived and died Cleveland Browns.
He's still dialing today.
Means he died most of the time.
Okay. Well, in 94, 95, I didn't have a season. I don't know if you did. Did you?
I don't know if you remember my first year. I won one game my first year.
When you came back?
I was more concentrating on trying to be a commissioner than I was being an owner, and the fact that Smith and Street screwed me that first year. So,
Yeah.
I was more. I wasn't involved in actually being a good owner, rather being
a commissioner.
A good commissioner,
Right.
Trying to get all the stats straight. I was producing a page that everybody got Tuesday morning. There was an outline page and the standings, and saying how everybody did and what players did good and what players actually got zero. I called it the Great Gagging Goose Egg.
Yeah, the gagging goose egg. I've had a few of them. That ain't fun. Hey, I got.
Oh yeah, I've had my share too.
Yeah. So.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, it is. It sucks. So, in 96, 95, 96, I started the league up in Ohio. And I can't remember who won in 95. 96, we jumped on with CBS Sportsline. And in CBS Sportsline, they had a free season where they didn't charge anything, but they didn't keep any of your data. But Scott Dillon won that year. And in 97, they also didn't have the history, but I won in 97. And then I'm gonna run through these champions, get them out of the way, if you don't mind, real quick. But okay. I want to run through these champions. Like I said, 96 was Scott Dillon. First of all, 89 was Monte Asher. 90 was Monte Asher. 91 was Dave Mark Anderson. Don't know Dave's last name. Sorry, Dave, if you're out there. 92, no data. 93, Bob Moore won. 94, I don't believe, I didn't have a season. I don't know if you did. 95, we didn't. 96, Scott Dillon. 97, Monte Asher. 98 was Travis Brandon. 99 was Mike Duncan with, let me see what this is. Mike's Laudable. Then Monty's Badasses. It was Monte Asher. 2001 was Dave's Fighting Chickens. I love that name. It was Dave Nickel. Number 2 was Wade's Pimp Squad. It was Wade Metcalf. 2003 was Paul's Bulldogs. It was Paul Robbins. 2004 was Asher's Bad Boys. That was Rick Asher, my brother. 95 was Dave's Fighting Chickens again. 2-time winner. Dave Nickel. 2006 was Jason's Jedi Knights, which is kind of cool too. Was Jason Riffle. 2007 was Mike's Megahertz again. Yep. That was the same as Mike's Laudable. Mike is,
He was good. He had a good football mind.
yes,
I
yes,
enjoyed talking to him.
yeah.
He was solid.
Yeah, he is a computer guy, so that's why he changed his name to Mike Megahertz. Then in 2008, Monte Screaming Eagles, that's me. 2009, back to back, Monte Screaming Eagles. 10 was Matt's Writing Shadows, which was Matt Sellers, I believe.
No, Matt Roberts.
Oh, Matt Robert, that's right. That's right. Matt Roberts. Sorry, Matt. 11 was Sean Evans and Sean's Ghostwriters. He's the late.
Rest in peace.
May rest in peace. 2012, Ty's Tornadoes is Ty Chapman.
Who took over Sean's team?
No, I think they played together, didn't he?
No, he took over Sean's team. You drafted for him, I think. What happened?
Okay.
He was just coming into the league, and you kind of handled his draft.
Okay. Yeah, he couldn't make it or something. He was calling in or on the computer or something. But
Right.
in 2013 was the Pottsylvania Creepers.
Creepers.
That was
Yep,
Bob Moore.
Named after a Bullwinkle cartoon.
Yeah. And then 2014 was Dave's Dancing Donkeys, which he changed from the Fighting Chickens. So that's a 3-time winner there. And then Mike's Megahertz in 2015, 3-time champion. Like you said, he had a pretty good mind for football. Then 2016 was Asher's Pain Distributors, another one for me. Uh-oh. See that? I think that was number 7. Joe Montana. Pittsburgh Steelers don't have shit on me. 2017 was Fighting Irish Bengals was Lynn Hensley. 2018 was Master Defilators, which is Ty Chapman. That's a two-time. And then last year, champion was Paul's Bulldogs, 2-time champion, which hopefully he can make it up because he's going to do the flip for the lottery selection for the draft. And that's coming up this Saturday at 12:30. So,
Which pretty much decides what kind of team you're going to have.
yes.
I mean, your draft makes everything for you. Yeah, I mean that you can come back from a bad draft, but it takes pretty much the first two-thirds of the regular season to come back from a bad draft.
Right. Well, Bob, we're going to wrap this up. We're looking at, where are we at? We're looking at about 20 minutes, so we're about to the end of our time. I will be reaching out Saturday morning about 12:30. It should only,
I look forward to it.
it should be painless, about 10 minutes, and it'll be over with.
Yeah, should be a quick thing.
Yeah. So, but we're going to air that too, so anybody that can't make it can watch it and find out where they land.
Right.
So, all right, Bob. Thanks a lot, and I'm looking
All right.
forward to having
Talk
you
to
on.
Monty.
I'm looking forward to having you on throughout the year to discuss games and maybe players and stuff like that. But yeah, we get this uploaded and get it going.
All right, buddy. Talk
All
to you
right,
later.
thanks. Yep.
Bye.
All right, see ya.